In 1878, gaslight manufacturers celebrated their unchallenged dominance in illuminating the world's cities. Their victory celebration would prove premature. In a workshop in Menlo Park, Thomas Edison made what seemed an impossible declaration. He would create an electric light so revolutionary that it would make gas lamps obsolete. The press mocked him. Experts dismissed him. Even his own colleagues doubted him. Yet just 18 months later, Edison unveiled the first practical incandescent light bulb, forever changing how we light our world. What set Edison apart wasn't just his inventive capacity. It was something far more systematic, a methodology so powerful that it would transform not just how we light our homes, but how we approach innovation itself. His famous quote, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration," wasn't just a catchy phrase. It concealed a blueprint for systematic innovation that few truly understood at the time. But to grasp the full power of this approach, we must first understand the foundation upon which it was built. While many saw Edison's success as a series of just lucky breaks or flashes of being a genius, the reality was far more methodical. His achievements weren't built on random experimentation, but on specific thinking patterns that would reshape how innovation happens around the world. These patterns, though hidden from just the casual observers, form the bedrock of his most groundbreaking discoveries. So what are these patterns? Pattern 1, systematic experimentation. While others saw failure, Edison saw data. Unlike inventors who sought single solutions, he would systematically test hundreds or thousands of possibilities. This wasn't just mere persistence. It was a revolutionary approach to discovery that would later influence everything from pharmaceutical research to modern software development. But what made this approach truly powerful wasn't just its thoroughness. It was pattern number 2, the market-focused innovation. While his contemporaries focused on purely technical achievement, Edison maintained an unwavering focus on commercial viability. He wouldn't just ask, can it work, but will people buy it? This dual focus would prove crucial, not just for his success, but for developing a framework that would later influence innovators like Steve Jobs to Elon Musk. Yet there was one more pattern that truly set him apart. Pattern number 3, failure as information. Edison's perspective on failure wasn't just positive, it was revolutionary. His famous quote about the light bulb experiments revealed a deeper truth, as he's famous for saying, "I have not failed 10,000 times. I have successfully found 10,000 ways that will not work." This transformation of failure from setback to data point would prove crucial for his greatest achievements. But how do these patterns translate into actual innovation? What appears to be a simple trial and error to outside observers often masks sophisticated methodology underneath. Edison's approach to problem solving wasn't just systematic, it was revolutionary in ways that continue to influence innovation today. But to truly understand its power, we need to examine each component of his process, starting with perhaps the most counterintuitive insight. That is, defining the problem in market terms. While others inventors began technical specifications, Edison started somewhere unexpected, at the market itself. For the light bulb, he didn't simply aim to create electric light. He calculated the exact price point and operating costs that would make electric light competitive with gas. This market-first approach seemed backwards to his contemporaries, but it would prove persistent in ways that modern innovators are still discovering. When developing the phonograph, Edison first studied the entertainment and business markets to understand exactly how recorded sound would be used. This understanding didn't just influence his technical decisions, it would ultimately reshape the entire entertainment industry. But understanding the market was just the beginning. The second part was to break down complex problems. Edison's genius wasn't just in solving problems, it was deconstructing them. With the light bulb, he separated what seemed like single challenge into a distinct set of components. One was filament material selection. Second was the bulb atmosphere composition, the electric current optimization, the manufacturing process, how are you going to make these things, and then distribution systems, how are you going to get it in customers' hands. This decomposition allowed his team to work on multiple aspects simultaneously, but it also revealed something unexpected about the nature of innovation itself. And it brings us to the third: create systematic experiments. What looked like random testing to outside observers was actually a carefully orchestrated process of discovery. Edison developed detailed experimental matrices that would test multiple variables simultaneously while maintaining rigorous documentation. For the light bulb filament alone, his team examined different materials. That included over 6,000 plant materials alone, various thicknesses, different preparation methods, multiple current levels, various atmospheric conditions. Each combination was recorded and evaluated against specific criteria, building a knowledge base that would prove valuable in unexpected ways. And then, 4, the rapid prototyping and testing, his fourth step. Edison's laboratory wasn't just a workspace. It was a machine for turning out ideas into reality. His team could produce multiple prototypes daily, testing and refining each iteration with unprecedented speed. This rapid prototyping approach, revolutionary for its time, would later become a cornerstone of modern innovation methodology, things that we do today, things that I do here in my innovation studio. But the true power of this system laid in what happens next. His fifth step: document everything. In an age when many inventors guarded their secrets, Edison created something revolutionary: a systematic documentation process that transformed individual insights into institutional knowledge. His laboratory maintained digital experimental notebooks. When I was at HP, those that were on the invention side, on the engineering and R&D side, we had to keep detailed experimental notebooks going through the process. That all started with Edison. He kept sketches and technical drawings and material samples, cost calculations, his market research findings, the manufacturing process notes. This comprehensive documentation system didn't just prevent repeated mistakes, it created a foundation of future innovations in ways that would surprise even Edison himself. Now, the true test of any methodology, the one that we just walked through with Edison, isn't just its historical success, but in its ability to solve contemporary challenges we are facing today. While Edison's specific experiments may be historical, his systematic approach to innovation has found surprising applications in unexpected places. From Lego's design lab to SpaceX's revolutionary rocket development, modern innovators are rediscovering and reinventing Edison's methods in ways that he could never imagine. Let's talk about one, the Lego design lab. Now, this is Edison's methods in play. In an unlikely parallel to Edison's Menlo Park laboratory, Lego's Future Lab has revolutionized how they develop new products. This methodology includes elements that would feel very familiar to Edison, yet are adapted to the 21st century, like running parallel experiments with multiple prototype designs and systematic testing with target users in their experiences lab, maintaining detailed documentation of all the brick iterations as part of the experiment, using cross-functional teams that combine engineers and designers and child development experts, and converting user feedback into quantifiable data for decision-making. But perhaps the most surprising application of Edison's methods comes from a company that makes something seemingly simple, and that's fabric. Gore and Associates, and really this is where innovation was never expected to come from. The creators of Gore-Tex have transformed Edison's systematic approach into a modern innovation engine through their unique waterline process. This method reveals how Edison's principles can adapt to modern challenges. They do it through small, self-organizing teams that mirror Edison's research groups. They do systematic materials testing across multiple applications. They look for comprehensive and they develop these documentation of both their successes and failures, but not just their own, but also others. An innovation time allocation for all associates. You are expected to be an innovator if you work for Gore. And the market-focused development with clear commercial criteria. Does no good if you're creating a material that's going to cost someone $10,000 for a jacket. Yet the most powerful application of Edison's methods may come from a field you never imagined, and that is Corning and Corning's innovation centers. Corning has been around forever. The company, they were the ones who developed Pyrex and Gorilla Glass, the glass that's on literally every phone, every computer display, and more than likely, your TV has Gorilla Glass on the front. They maintain these innovation centers that would feel remarkably familiar to Edison. Their approach reveals how systematic innovation can span centuries. Scientists conduct thousands of systematic experiments on glass compositions, different materials, different processes. Teams maintain detailed documentation, and they have all this documentation going back over 150 years of research. That is institutional knowledge. Research focuses on practical commercial applications. This is not science fair projects. These are to be real products. They're cross-disciplinary. Collaboration drives the breakthrough innovations. Corning, in my experience, having done co-innovation work with them, they are amazing on collaboration across industries. And then they also think about failures are really meticulously documented and analyzed for future reference. It's not a negative, it's data. Now, but implementing these methods isn't without its challenges. Even the most powerful methodologies face obstacles in implementation. Modern organizations attempting to apply Edison's methods can often encounter specific challenges that, if not addressed, can derail the entire innovation process. Understanding these pitfalls and their solutions is crucial for any team, organization, or individual seeking to innovate systematically. Pitfall number 1, analysis paralysis. Many teams, ironically, become so focused on Edison's documentation methods that they lose his bias for action. The solution lies not in abandoning documentation, but you got to find the right balance. So set clear time boxes, 20% planning, 80% execution as an example. Create minimum viable documentation standards. You're not writing novels, but you want to capture enough. Another is establish regular review cycles. At HP, we referred to this as the next bench process. You were working on something, you were expected to take a pause and explain it to the person on the bench next to you, what you're working on, and to get their feedback. And they may tell you, hey, you looks great, execute, stop thinking, start doing. Use simple, standardized documentation templates. Keep it simple. And set clear experiment completion criteria. An example of this is, Amazon's two-pizza team. Two-pizza team is something that Bezos put in place, where teams should be about the size that could be fed with 2 pizzas. So about 7 to 9, 10 people. And really it's about this practice of balancing, getting work done, and the ability to execute. These small, agile groups maintain Edison's rapid experimentation approach while also avoiding the bureaucratic slowdown that comes with large teams. But there's even a more fundamental challenge that many teams face, and this is pitfall number 2, fear of failure. I've talked about this so many times. Despite understanding Edison's philosophy about failure as information, many organizations still struggle to truly embrace this mindset. The solution requires a systematic approach to reframing failure. One is practice emotional detachment through objective documentation. Next, use the 3-column technique that we have talked about and we introduced in previous videos on the experimenter mindset. Document what happened, why did it happen, and what it teaches us. And then maintain a discovery journal, tracking both successes and failures. Document it, use the data. Focus on hypothesis-driven thinking rather than outcome-based judgment. Ultimately, you need to create a safe space for experimentation and learning. Eli Lilly has this revolutionary approach called failure walls, where they demonstrate how organizations, how they share the failures. It's really about how modern organizations can really transform setbacks into stepping stones. But perhaps the most challenging pitfall that lies in something more fundamental. Pitfall number 3, lack of systematic approach. Many organizations jump randomly between ideas without methodology, missing the core of Edison's success. The solution requires building a systematic framework. That includes implementing structured experimentation processes. Next, use experiment tracking software. They're out there. You can find them. Create standardized testing protocols. Establish a regular set of review cycles. And then maintain a central knowledge repository. Information hoarding does not work in this model. Example being SpaceX development of reusable rockets shows how this systematic approach can tackle seemingly impossible challenges. But knowing the pitfalls isn't enough. We need to put these insights into practice. So, the key here is not just to watch this video and think about it and go, ooh, that's neat. It's applying them and using them. So let's put the principles into practice with a specific innovation challenge designed to strengthen your systematic thinking skills. Choose a common problem in your industry or daily life that seems resistant to solution. Then we're going to apply Edison's systematic approach. 1, problem definition. Define the problem in market terms. Identify the specific success criteria, and then set clear constraints, size, cost, whatever it is. 2, decomposition. Break the problem into testable components. Create a testing matrix and identify the key variables. 3, experimentation. Design rapid tests for each component. Document all attempts. Track both successes and failures. 4, analysis. Review the results systematically. Look at the matrix. What was the experiment? What were the results? Do you see patterns? Identify those patterns in success and the failures, and document the lessons learned. The result being is you're probably going to have one or two that are going to give you a clear path to success for your idea. Now, Edison's systematic approach to innovation provides more than historical insight. It offers a blueprint for tackling modern challenges. As we face increasingly complex problems, both in technology and in society and healthcare, his methodological approach to turning seemingly impossible challenges into solvable problems becomes more relevant than ever. Last week, we explored Nikola Tesla's unique approach to innovation, focusing on his remarkable visualization abilities and his theoretical brilliance. Next week, we're going to bring these two giants together. We're going to examine how contrasting their approaches to innovation. So we're going to combine Tesla and Edison and bring them together. So Edison's systematic experimentation and Tesla's theoretical brilliance. How do they complement each other? How do they challenge each other? Keep in mind, Tesla actually worked for Edison in his laboratory. This comparison, this is the first time we're trying this. It's an experiment to bring and contrast different approaches to innovation. This comparison is going to reveal some, what we think is very valuable insights about how different thinking styles can work together or conflict in team environments. The balance between theoretical brilliance and practical application. What modern leaders can learn about managing diverse thinking styles. The role of ego and recognition in innovation teams, and how organizational culture impacts creativity and collaboration. Join us as we're going to bring these two episodes together next episode and really bring together the look at Tesla and the look at Edison. And we're going to look for pulling out powerful lessons for today's leaders about fostering innovation while managing creative tensions within teams. Now, look, innovation isn't just about individual genius. Innovation is a team sport. It's about understanding different approaches to problem solving and knowing when to apply them. Whether you're leading a team, driving change, or simply looking to enhance your own personal capabilities as part of preparing your career, there's always more to learn from history's greatest minds. So you don't want to miss any episodes in our How to Think series. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell so that you catch each new episode. Every episode dives deep into practical lessons that you can apply to your challenges, to your team, to your organization, to your career. Now, do you want to support the creation of more in-depth content? Let us expand and at the pace at which we can bring these to you guys. Then join our community on Patreon. Your membership directly funds the small team that works on the research, the writing, and the production. Plus, you get access to exclusive content, live streams that I'm going to be hosting from the Innovation Studio here, access to a private Discord community, and your ability to influence what we cover. Who should be the next ones we should cover on the How to Think series? I've heard from people saying it should be Steve Jobs. People want me to come back around and take another look at Elon Musk, Goodyear from Goodyear Tires. There's a whole long list. Who do you think? Join, and then you get to participate and influence who we cover. To support the community in the Patreon, visit the link in the show notes down below and become part of the innovation community. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next episode.